What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. As said yesterday, right, I am doing final exams reviews for most of the week this week, giving some of the better battles, some of the more competitive battles, I should say, some shine. And as we did yesterday, Eunice versus Miss Hustle, and now today we're doing Fonz versus Woosaah, puncher versus puncher matchup, you know what I'm saying? I think Woosaah was also one of the more top performing guys in the class. I would say that Eunice was kind of by far and away the standout performance for final exams, thus, kind of doing that first. And then for me personally, I'd say Dice or Woosaah is second. Dice kind of 30'd real deal, pretty clear. But I've still seen better Dices. It's almost still kind of banking on his talent. I mean, a win is a good win. It wasn't as standout as I probably would have expected from him. So I think that you could probably argue in this exact instance that Woosaah was probably a little bit better. Thus, he gets the second review, right? But Fonz, in my opinion, is probably the hardest challenge anyone had in this card. Fonz is freshly top tier. You can even argue really starting to hit his stride, hit his prime right now. So to give a guy like that who's kind of in form, give a rookie his first plate that, I think it's a really tough challenge, but Woo did pretty good under the circumstances. And without further ado, we can get right into the first round. So starting out on the first on Woosaah, he has this get match started bar at the beginning, like striking a match, the way he built it up, pretty clever. Early on, he's got a couple bars that, and this is one thing I didn't really completely expect, is for a guy that I consider to be really creative for the most part, wordplay wise. I thought this whole clip like a tie and clip on him, the pick on him, like old school bully and pick on him, little stuff like that. It was a little back to back, but I thought it was watered down content wise a little bit. But from there, he says beat on him like a prison song. I thought that was pretty dope. The job looking through the window, job hunting bar. I thought that was pretty cool. Selling the white girl, hey Vixen, you know what I'm saying? Always gonna get some reaction in the room for any Vixen bars, you know what I'm saying? But pretty, he's hitting at a more consistent rate. The camp life, mounting it, I like that. And then the Abe Lincoln bar is pretty good. And he had the flower, flower next to tie, like a prom suit. I thought that was clever. I thought that was probably maybe his best bar of the round. I didn't get the reaction I was really expecting. But overall, cool first from Woosaah. I'm not going to lie to you. From someone that I think he's going to pick it up, or it's not even I know he's going to pick it up as the battle going into the next round. But overall, it was like a serviceable first. And then you get Fonz going, and one thing is the room definitely was not trying to show Fonz love at first. I'm going to be real. It was really, really evident. He had some space bars, which I'll say... people have done a lot of space rapper this, and even though I thought Fonz was clever, X out the speaker, you know what I'm saying, mute the room with one button, they were cool to open, but pretty much just like dead silence. The Woo High, as soon as I sent Woo High, they gonna give me some mo. That bar was cool. The Trinidad James, they gonna think I popped a Molly the way I'm sweating Woo. I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Also, pretty much got no reaction. Y'all been arguing with the RB class. I'll run down, rob you, and take your shit. The intake guys are RBE. So I actually thought that he was hitting in the beginning of this first, even though the room wasn't really showing love like that. And then he finally starts to take off, or at least the room starts to be receptive to him. How you gonna graduate when he got Fonz? So he does his own Fonz flip, which is funny because he says that it's dumb when people do those flips. And then he did this shit. But fine, as long as it's a good version, right? It's got to be creative because we've heard a lot of Fines and Fonz bars before. He does this whole breakdown of his UM1 class. I thought that was pretty smart to do while you're giving a shot, right? Talk about how your class was one of the best. The Killer Bees put Woo on a shirt. Thought that was clever. He'll get a real final exam in autopsy. Haymaker. Stretch Woo like a ghost talking. Heavy. And then... the bar that really makes it clear is if you don't move, I'm going to make you like an action figure. That was hard. Pretty much one of the last bars of his round. So it might seem like Fonz took a minute to heat up. I just don't think he was getting the love. But for the most part, I thought he had a really, really heavy first round. Like I said, decent first from Woo, but Fonz kind of showed levels. So I had it 1-0 clear going into the second round. back on Wu to start the beginning of the second round. And he has the defines a bitch opener. Thought that was pretty cool. But then he gets into the little like mini fashion scheme, which, you know, kind of, I swear every other video I'm like, someone did a mini fashion scheme, but his actually was the that Fashion Nova. But after this, you will be able to palm angels. That was a haymaker. I haven't heard of palm angels bar personally. I thought that shit was super fire, and he needed that early haymaker after going down 1-0, right, to bring the momentum back on his side. From there, he uses it well. I'm a legend to the streets. That's a roadmap. Dope. What you know about beefing with GDs? I wouldn't even work in construction because I can't be around no one that lets a forklift. I thought that was super fire. The dominatrix bar was pretty dope. He does a flip a Fonz slogan. You know, punch, block it. Everybody punches for the crowd. This shit a mosh pit. It got a lot of love in the room. I thought that bar was dope. Dude was whipped so bad. I hope Klutz doesn't have a flashback. It's kind of fucked, to be honest with you. But that was fire, right? And then he's landing, right? And then he gets in my favorite bar of this round. Kind of has, and I think this might be when Woosaah's at his best. It's like, pulls from his real life a little bit. Like, he does it's kind of like, I wouldn't even just straight up call it struggle talk, you know what I'm saying? It's just like real talk. Talking about going, the energy went out in his mom's house. He went out, you know what I'm saying, did what he had to do to get the money, and he said, solar panel, honey, you got that energy from your son. That was fire. That was fire, fire, fire. I love that shit. And I feel like whenever I've seen him kind of pull, you know what I'm saying, from some real talk a little bit, you know, that type of bar, that's when he's able to land at his best. I feel like that's when he's in his best bag. And he clearly had confidence all through the second. So I think Woosaah's second is a real statement second. One of the best rounds from any of the rookies, really, for final exams. And then you get into Fonz's round. He starts out... This shit was kind of funny. He said Woosaah was a Twitter spitter. Pause. That shit is wild. You know what I'm saying? Talking about he's a space rapper. Some more jokes on that, right? And he says, I was box office but I'm box office like a cubicle, and I don't know how to work spaces. So it leads up, pretty clever bar there. The Star Trek, and nobody's gonna get my Spock tooken. He tried to turn Spot into Spock. For those that watch Star Trek, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going with that one, Fonz, not gonna lie to you, man. But from there, he gets into the PCP bar. Shouldn't have the PCP, thought that was dope. The recognition bar was pretty dope. Like, he starts really, like, jabbing for the most part. The Insomniac bar, pretty dope. They always talk about clothes that I don't fit in, so don't be surprised when I'm squeezing on a coat, on a coat. I thought that was clever. And then, once again, Fonz, in the second half of his round, really starts to get the momentum. It all started with Wu, like Maxwell, fire. Somebody tell Wu we, because we going to be sliding this bitch with the arms out, crazy. Was they serious, putting Wu in front of somebody that's known for punching? Referencing the math situation. So I thought he was going crazy. Then you get to the Terror Squad. I felt like Terror Squad when Pun died. My only option was pushing crack. Fonz really, it doesn't have maybe the peak, like just straight, like the action figure, the stretch and Wu, like a ghost talking, like the end of his first. But it's still a lot of momentum to end in the round. And then they're going to be more than Woosaah. It was premeditated. I really like Fonz second. This is a debatable round. There is no question about it. I'm not mad at no one that's edging it to either battler. I understand the argument for Wu. But for me personally, it's just such a potent pen. I think Fonz really has it down to a science, man. I personally edge Fonz 2-0 going into the third. And then you get into the third round of the battle, and it's back on Woosaah. He is I don't know nothing about AIDS, but I can tell you about a blood cell. Really random concept, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely get the bar. I was close to my lowest, like Peter Griffin, cool. And I'm not going to lie, for the rest of this round, I thought the content does get a little bit, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of dry spots here for Woosaah. He has the 11 strays bar, you know what I'm saying, talk about the dogs, 11 strays. Thought that was okay, you know what I'm saying? My homies always in BS, but they never there, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. I thought that was a clever bar. But like the Todd Gurley bar, thought it was cool. Don't get aggressive. Don't talk like Verb, or anything you say could end up being pause-worthy, like worth fighting, worth getting the pause-worthy. Verb be saying a lot of suspect shit, right? Thought it was cool. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's clever enough concepts. Like, it's not like he's really doing nothing wrong, but I just don't think that he was hitting at the higher peaks like he was in his second or really even his first round by now. The Everlast, bag for punching. Thought that was dope. And, not my Todd, what do you think I'm doing? I thought that was maybe the most clever bar of his round, but overall, I thought it was a pretty light third from Woosaah. I'm not going to lie to you. And then you get into Fonz's third. Probably stepped down from his weakest round as well, but I think still a really formidable round. He ends up saying that, mentioning that Woosaah has another nickname. He goes by Icy, you know what I'm saying? So he says, I put Icy through the wall, like I got x-ray vision. Thought that was clever. The top Sixth Sense, Icy dead people, that was crazy. Shootout, there ain't gonna be no windows in that bitch. It's like Apple made it. Thought that was crazy, right? Dropped some weight and then got a little bit more. Big T. So at this point, Fonz is just punching his way all the way to a clear round, to be honest with you. The Bed Bug Bar, the Prez Mafia, Woosaah in the middle of the flow, getting you for the travel. It's not the peaks like of his other rounds, but the content back-to-back, and really the icy flips is what he's going to use here, because he doesn't use any of them in the first two. I didn't even know that homie had, like, you know what I'm saying, like he had another, that he went by icy. And then he gets into the Rich Paul, Clutch Sport, get rid of Iceman, Chuck Liddell, the Icy Hot Bar. So I think for the most part, neither of them had the craziest round, but Fonz just gives you more. You can see it in the third. Like I said, it's kind of by way with the icy flips. I thought the top Sixth Sense bar, the Apple made it, just enough to really give you that third clear without too much to talk about. So obviously, when you see the way I called it, I did call it 3-0 for Fonz, with the second being debatable. But even with that, like I said, I think Fonz is really maybe one of the 10 best battle rappers in the world right now. I think Fonz is absolutely incredible. And I think there's no shame in this for Woosaah. He had a standout second that shows you he clearly has the potential. While he didn't get, the favorable result in this one, I think going forward he's still going to be a problem. He's just not going to always be facing someone like a Fonz. But overall, you know what I'm saying, almost in a gentleman-like way, I did have Fonz winning the battle clearly. And that is my full review here for Fonz versus Woosaah. Good battle, like I said. I think I will be doing Capo and T-Top is the last one I'll be doing. Have gotten to pretty much watch everything but Bandit versus Ryder. Definitely going to be watching that one today. I did hear that Bandit might have picked up a clear W, but obviously got to see that for myself. You know what I'm saying? But shout out Dice, catching a 3-0. I think he's only going to get better from here. My opinion might be the prospect that I'm still looking at to possibly be the best of the class. I love his style. I love the way that he writes. And then past that, KCJ 30, Mozzie, not a pretty much a nightmare debut for Mozzie, so you got to hope that he bounces back. Probably on the rookies versus sophomores card is going to be his next opportunity. And then Woosaah had him losing, but I think he was probably top 2 performers out of the rookies, maybe top 3. We're going to talk about Capo tomorrow, and like I said, I still think Eunice was just the standout. But you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think down below? Who did you have winning, Fonz and Woosaah? And yeah, it's been Jay Small Reviews again, y'all. Like I said, comment down below. Let me know who you had winning. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.